Welcome back. This is Morning News today on eNCA. Now, South African football has a new commander-in-chief. Danny Jordaan became the new SAFA president on Saturday, defeating Mandla Shoes Mazibuko in a resounding election victory. Now, let's get some comment and response from football analyst Ralph Nkomo. Ralph, thank you very much for coming in this morning. You've been involved with football for a long time, so we thought what best just to chat to you to find out what are your initial thoughts about Danny Jordaan's election.
Well, good morning. Well, I think it's a fantastic thing for South African football. Why? Because Danny is well respected worldwide. He played a prominent role for the World Cup organization, obviously with Dr. Koza and everybody, and they did such a fantastic job. So their image, mainly his image as the CEO of that committee, worldwide is very respected. That's the first step, because everybody will look at South Africa and say, oh, now we've got a proper administrator.
It's an important first step because SAFA's credibility has been under question for quite some time now.
Exactly. So once everybody now says, okay, now there's a good administrator in place, now let's see what happens. If I was in his shoes, the first thing is to get all stakeholders going behind him, supporting him. And now when he starts, have a proper roadmap. What do we want to do? Where do we start? Grassroots level.
Where would you suggest? Oh, you say grassroots level. That's where he should start. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been quoted in the media since his election to say he's out for total reconstruction of development. It looks like that's where South African football is really lacking, sadly. I mean, so many years after SAFA was readmitted into the family of FIFA.
When you drive around South Africa, or for me, around Johannesburg, you don't see enough children playing football. You don't. You go in other cities. In France, we used to, I got a 7-year-old son, we used to go stand in the snow while he's playing football, and he was only 5. Organized football at that age. Gradual graduation, go up to the 14-year-olds, go into an academy. At 16 years old, you see him wearing a South African national team kit, and you're not surprised when he's 22 now, he's playing for the national team. Oh, you say, we've known him for the past 10 years, he's been in the national teams. What is the South African brand of football? Right now, we don't know what brand it is. But other teams say, oh no, that's the Spanish kind of football, that's the Brazilian kind of football, oh, that's Nigerian kind of football. How do you get that football to have a brand? You've got to brand it. So that's his biggest challenge.
And you see the answer lying in grassroots development. Could that also be one of the factors that have contributed to Bafana, for instance, not being in Brazil? We hosted successfully so the 2010 Soccer World Cup, and Bafana didn't have to play qualifying games for that tournament. We also didn't qualify for the 2006 Soccer World Cup in Germany. Now we're not in Brazil.
Now you go back to the drawing board, get the juniors involved. You see, South African public is not a stupid public. They know their football. They love their football. But to actually say South African football is a giant, not yet. That's where the misconception lies. People need to support the youngsters, get them to become proper professionals, get the stakeholders, who are they? The team owners. Get them to be behind Danny. They support him, and everything will work out if everybody works as a team.
But SAFA is not united at the moment, as we know. There's been all kinds of divisions. Do you think Danny is the right man to help unite SAFA?
That's where his personality has to come to the fore. You see, when you're in that kind of political turmoil, you need your personality to unite everybody. You need everybody to help you out. So he has to sit down with the stakeholders, like I keep saying, get the government involved, get the teams themselves, the team owners. You got massive characters in football in this country, massive. Your Dr. Kozas, like I mentioned before, your Jordaans, your Patrice Motsepe. Those are massive people on the continent. You need them to support you. Once they're behind him and they're all pulling together, then South African football will. It's not up to him alone. He is the face, but he needs those people to come behind him.
Thank you very much. That's football analyst Ralph Nkomo talking to us this morning about the new SAFA president, Danny Jordaan.
News that moves. eNCA.com.